มหาการุณิโกนาโถตถาคตปกวานุตาปัจเจกพุทธะอรหันตโพธิสัตวะภารัตรัตนโพธิสัตวะบาบาสาเหบดรบีอัมบิกานโมพุทธายะนโมธรรมายะนโมสังฆายะเจพิมสังเจโสดังจักเจจักนำลาสังโชบดโดดักนีกับโซเจนังเกจินโซเกเปโซนัมเกโดลาเป็นสีสังเกดุปาโชOm Mani Padme Hum. May I pay homage to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and all Bodhisattvas. And may I pay my humble respects to Most Venerable Dr. Paramahajanya Suttiyano, the abbot of Wat Buddhapanya. And may I pay humble respect to Most Venerable Dr. Brahma Narinto and humble greeting to Tanajan Brahma Vacharin Akakari and dear lay followers, devotee, brother and sister in the Dhamma. So today I'm gonna talk about the core teaching from the Gelugpa side. So, we know that Gelugpa is one of great school, and His Holiness Dalai Lama, he belonged to Gelugpa school. Even His Holiness, not the head of Gelugpa school, but he is very well known and very, he's like a spiritual leader of not only Gelugpa, but from all the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. So sometimes many people call Dalai Lama as a spiritual leader. So spiritual leader is not only Gelugpa, not only Tibetan Buddhist tradition, not only from the Buddhist area, but also maybe from the other religion also. But all of think that only spiritual, not the religion. So that's why many people call Dalai Lama as a spiritual leader. So he is one of great master from Gelugpa in this century, I can say that, and everyone accept that. So let's see, someone who come from your school, come from your temple, come from your family. So we're curious to know, right, how they learn, how they practice, So today I bring the teaching, the core teaching from Gelugpa side, so we understand more why the Lama talking like that, acting like that, doing like that. So one of core teaching that come from the monastic discipline and logical philosophy study and integration of Sutta and Tantra. So this core teaching we call Ramrim. So in Ramrim we have the spiritual text that we call Ramrim Chenmo. So Ramrim means the state of the path to enlightenment. So Ramrim is the foundational framework of Gelugpa teachings, outlining a step-by-step path to the Buddhahood based on Atisa Puttha Patipa or Puttha Patip in Thai word. So Ramrim Chenmo that come from Atisa Dipankara is characterized practitioner into three scope of spiritual capacity from initial, intermediate and great. So let's see more things. And another that we have Prasangika Madhyamika. the consequent middle way school. So Prasankika and one of the great school that developed from Madhyamika. So in Tibetan Buddhism, Prasankika, Madhyamika is also very what we call the highest philosophical views in the Gelugpa tradition. It's emphasizing the ultimate truth of emptiness or shunyata, that of phenomena and devote of inherent existence and exist purely through dependent origination or pati samutpatipada, patiya patija samutpada, actually that the meaning of the that the same thing we call in Tibetan we have patija samutpada also, but the pronoun of patija samutpada is quite different from Theravada say, because Theravada use Pali language and Tibetan text use Sanskrit language. So that's why when we're talking about Patiya Samutaya Pada, the name is quite different from Theravada. But the meaning is dependent ordination. So, and let's see one more thing. We have integration of Sutta and Tantra. Let's see, integration of Sutta and Tantra. So they try to, co-between Sutra and Tantra. So we call integration of Sutra and Tantra. So that written and try to emphasize from Tsongkhapa, So Tsongkhapa thought that secret mantra must be grounded in a solid foundation of sutra study, particularly the cultivation of renunciation, bodhicitta, and correct view of emptiness. So let's see again. Cultivation of renunciation and bodhicitta and correct view of emptiness. So understand well or correct view about emptiness. So it's very important. And absolutely, when we learn to practice Mahayana in Tantra version, we have to have very strong foundation about Sutra. From Sutayana means they call Theravada. But at Tibetan understand and Theravada understand might different, because intact different. So that's why we have to come close and understand feeling of each other, not only understand feeling from this text or scripture, not like that. So let's see, Mahayana practitioner in Tantra version have to have understand the sutra, Sutayana Sutta and Mahayana Sutra, and learn to be how to, renunciation, and improving or practicing bodhicitta, and understand well about emptiness. So let's see the historical development of teachings, so we may understand more about all the core of the teaching of from Gelugpa. So, as I mentioned earlier that I mentioned about the name of Great Mother One is Atisadipankara, and second is Jesongkhapa in 14th century to 15th century. Jesongkhapa in 1357 to 4900 sought to reform the Tibetan Buddhism by returning to strict monastic discipline, Vinaya, and academic study, satisfying of the teaching of the early Kadampa school, and he orders seminal texts such as Ramlim Chenmo, and also from Yingmapa we call Ngakrim Chenmo. Not from Yingmapa, but we have another name, and we call Ngakrim Chenmo. So he tried to wrote the text, show the text that one Ramrim Chenmo and one is Ngakrim Chenmo. So at that time, if we look in the history, Tibetan Buddhism at that time not so clear. Something have many things that you cannot see things clear. Many problem, many understanding about the study and practice in Buddhism. So that's why Jesongkhapa, he is one of Mahasiddha, he is a great master from Gelugpa, try to returning to strict monastic discipline. Because actually in practice of another practice, not from Gelug. Gelug is like monk practice, monastic system, really monastic system, more than Yingmapa. Because Soksen from Yingmapa, from Pern or Tung Pern, is not really, too much caring about Vinaya, because different idea, different system. I don't say that Soksen is not good, but Soksen, the practicing of Soksen doesn't come from the monastic line. So that's why they don't try to emphasize and try to strict with Vinaya. It's very different thing. And I understand Soksen come from Yogi, so Yogi doesn't belong to the monastic system. It's different system. Because Tibetan Buddhism, we have two systems. One is monastic system or monastic line, and second is we have non-monastic line. So monastic line from monk, nun, but non-monastic system or non-monasticalism that come from Tilopa, Mapa, Kampopa, right? And they are not monk, and also come from Krupatma Sampava. Alright. So that's why, because some practice come from non-monastic system. Then scholastic standardizing monastic college that found in 15th, 16th century. So we have university like Garden, Dipung, and Sarah J. Sarame, Dipung Garden Monastery. And they have all text about the 5 great canonical texts: Pramana, Madhyamika, Abhidhamma, and Patyapramita Sutra. Patyapramita and Vinaya. So we have Pramana, Madhyamika, Abhidhamma, and Patyapramita and Vinaya. So that found in Garden Depung Sera, even Sera J. Serami. And in institution institutionalization the Dalai Lama led is in 16th and 17th century. So one of Grandmaster Sonam Ganyasu received the title from third Dalai Lama from the Mongol leader Atan Khan by the time of the fifth Dalai Lama. Naka Wang Lobsang Gayasu in 17th century. The Gelugpa school gained temporal leader over Tibet. And seamlessly blending spiritual authority with political government, we call Ganden Pruda. So Gelugpa school become more, institutional system, and close to the political power. So sometimes, Gelugpa take over and take in charge all the Buddhist school. So that why the Gelugpa become the center of religion and center of the political system. And let's see, modern era, global expansion 20th century to present until now. The following the 1959 Tibetan uprising history, the 14th Dalai Lama and key Gelugpa master established monastics in exile, and primarily India. Gelug teaching spread globally through international center, emphasizing interfaith, dialogue, sci-mind, interaction as scholar ethic alongside international study. So this is the evolution or development of Gelugpa school and also Gelugpa text. So today I'm gonna stop now, and thank you for all the devotees, for the Upasok Upasika who come and watching, and may the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, bring you peace and stay with you peace, and bring you to achieve Nibbana or any kind of enlightenment. Thank you so much.